Alright, let's talk about data for a second. Because in Arc Raiders, data is basically the difference between surviving another day or getting wiped out by RRC. Speranza runs on old world information, medical records, construction data, forgotten tech manuals, all of it matters. And when weird things start happening, like strange lights showing up in the sky, nobody just shrugs and moves on. If ARC might be involved, you need answers. That's where Shani steps in, asking us to track down the right tech to figure out whether this is just some natural anomaly or the start of a brand new nightmare. So in this video, we're diving straight into where to find a rotary encoder and why it's more important than it sounds. This little piece of tech is exactly what Shani needs to analyze those signals and make sense of what's really going on out there. I'll show you where to look, what to watch out for, and how to grab it without turning your run into a disaster. If you want to help Speranza, avoid ARC's attention, and maybe look cool doing it, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. Alright, let's talk about this rotary encoder hunt in Arc Raiders, because if you are doing Shani's quest, this part can either go super smooth or waste a lot of your time if you go to the wrong place. The rotary encoder is mandatory to move forward, and once you know where to look, it is actually not that bad. First things first, the rotary encoder is a rare recyclable from the Exodus loot category, and your playground for this quest is Stella Montis. Technically, you can find it in multiple locations, but some of them are way more trouble than they are worth. The business center and the assembly areas are your main targets here. Now yes, it is possible to find both the rotary encoder and the ion spotter in the medical research area, especially inside those white drawers everyone loves to loot. The problem is that this area is almost always packed with players, which turns it into a constant player versus player nightmare. If you are not actively looking for fights, this place is risky and usually not worth it. That is why the assembly area is your best friend for this quest. It simply has way more lootable objects compared to the business center, and the layout makes it easier to move through without running into enemies every 2 seconds. One of the most reliable spots for rotary encoders here is the rolling tool carts scattered all around the assembly. The good news is that those same rolling tool carts can also spawn ion spotters, which you will need for the final part of the quest. On top of that, any breachable container in the assembly region can drop an ion spotter as well. Just keep in mind that the ion spotter is epic rarity, so do not be surprised if it takes a few runs, especially if the area was already looted. If things get sketchy or your inventory is full, you can always extract early. You do not need to do everything in one run. As long as you keep the rotary encoder or ion spotter in your stash, you can bring them back into Stella Montis later and they will still count for the quest objectives. One last important detail. If you find the rotary encoder while the quest is active, you can immediately complete the next objectives without extracting. So if you get lucky early, you can chain multiple quest steps in a single run. Stick to the assembly, check those tool carts carefully, and this quest becomes way less painful than it sounds. Once you have the rotary encoder, the next step is actually using it, and luckily this part is much more straightforward. The server switch you are looking for is located in the assembly workshop on Stella Montis, and you are not limited to a single spot, which makes things a lot less stressful. Inside the assembly workshop, there are multiple server switch locations. You can find 2 of them in the control center that overlooks the bridges, and 2 more in the rooms below that area. Those lower ones are usually either near the stairs or close to the doors, so you have several chances to get this done without running all over the map. Spotting the server switch is pretty easy. They are bright yellow and stand out clearly from the rest of the tech around them. As long as the rotary encoder is in your inventory, you can interact with any of these server switches, and that will instantly complete this quest objective. If you already managed to find an ion spotter earlier, you can safely extract after activating the server switch, since the final step is just bringing that item back to Shani. If you do not have one yet, stick around the assembly area and keep looting. Just remember, even though Spaceport also has Exodus loot, both the rotary encoder and the ion spotter only spawn at Stella Montis. Once everything is done, head back to Speranza and talk to Shani to claim your rewards. You will get experience points, 5 steel springs, which are very important for multiple weapon modifications, 5 wires, and a tactical Mark II augment. Not a bad payout for a quest that becomes pretty smooth once you know exactly where to go. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.